This woman figured out what was wrong with her after watching a television show. The hit television show Grey's Anatomy may be fiction, but it solved a medical mystery for one 22-year-old woman. Emily Levy of Israel had been experiencing unexplained pain in her wrists and ankles since she was 12 years old. Doctors were astounded when she began to experience dislocations of her shoulder, hip, and jaw as a teenager. However, she recognized her symptoms on screen one day while watching Shonda Rhimes' show. Levy recalled how she had observed something while she was watching season 13 of the show. After just one drink, a female patient complained of having a hangover, and during the examination, they were able to just remove her entire arm. Although she had no idea until now, she remembered the effects of just a small bit of alcohol showing pretty instantly. Levy experienced joint pain and dislocations from a young age, but physicians couldn't figure out why. When I saw them dislocate her shoulder, I remember thinking it reminded me, of course, Levi continued. Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome, a series of inherited illnesses that produce abnormally flexible joints as well as stretchy and fragile skin, was ultimately identified as the on-screen woman's underlying condition. The dislocations were misdiagnosed as hypermobility syndrome by doctors, despite the fact that they had seen all the warning symptoms on television. She didn't understand what was wrong until she noticed how her symptoms appeared on the popular show. She eventually looked into an alternative, and in 2019 she was formally identified as having Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome. Nonetheless, despite the diagnosis, she was still having a lot of issues. Levy dislocated her ribs in an automobile accident in September 2020 after another driver drowsy behind the wheel collided with her vehicle. Her chest and thoracic region were removed as a result just 6 months later. The fall was so quick, and it became worse every day, she added, comparing it to a domino effect from the moment the first rib came off. Levy, on the other hand, decided to take control of her life and look for a diagnosis and the right care. She would get disoriented if she stretches out, drives for more than 30 minutes, sits for longer than that, lifts things up, coughs, or breathes. She would even wake up every 10 minutes to try and put her ribs back in place. I got to the point where I told my parents that I couldn't imagine living like this, in such excruciating pain, for even 2 more months, she recalled. Despite the fact that there is no cure for Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, Levy took her health into her own hands and searched for slipping rib syndrome treatment online. It was the first time I told someone what I had been complaining about for months, she said. Crying, she forced her parents to watch the video she discovered, and 2 months later, she went to Florida for treatment. She described the process that changed her life as follows: I went to his clinic for 3 months for serious treatment, which ultimately led to a huge improvement in my function, where I halted the displacement. She has even created her own clinic with a surgeon since she is now motivated to pursue a career in medicine and help people. Levy was motivated to pursue a career in medicine as a result of her persistent health issues. She eventually achieved her goal in February 2022 when she opened a medical clinic with the surgeon Dr. Shayal Benedict in Israel. The facility specializes in prolotherapy, a regenerative method of care that can significantly improve the lives of people with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and many other orthopedic injuries and pains, including numerous sports injuries, she said. Levy now aspires to assist as many people as possible with the aid of Benedict, whom she described as an excellent and rare orthopedic surgeon. Levy, who will require her own prolotherapy treatments for the rest of her life, is described by Benedict as a smart, stubborn, bright woman. Levy is only 22 years old, but she has come a great way in her relatively short life. She seeks to achieve her life's objectives and does not like anyone to hinder her. I am grateful for the opportunity to assist folks in getting back to their lives and healing from their anguish, she said.